What's going on, awesome people? It's December 1st. Happy December. I'm so excited to be having this IG Live with you guys. Really haven't had an IG Live in quite a minute, to be honest with you. So I'll be honest, I'm a little bit nervous. For those of you who know me from the Awesome People podcast, those are always live and they're always nerve-wracking, always butterflies around. But then as soon as I see a guest that's right in front of me, all of a sudden I get excited and it's a great conversation. And so if you've never ever joined any of our Awesome People podcasts, I hope you're in for a nice treat. The whole point is to always shine a bright light on the most awesome Persians all around the world. It's an English-speaking podcast and live series. It's really targeted to pretty much Persians who have been born or raised outside of our motherland of Iran. So, of course, it's not exclusive of anybody. You know, we want to make sure that everybody who's interested in these guests that we have, that they get to enjoy it. But a long time ago, I decided that I just want to do an English-speaking type of podcast and to be able to shout out a lot of awesome Persians around the world. Because frankly, we really don't have a community. I'm talking about people like myself who have never lived in Iran, weren't born in Iran, don't read and write. Speaking wise, I can hold my own. But the reality of the fact is that I don't feel like we have a true community. And so all I've tried to do is just create it. And it's been a step-by-step process that I'm enjoying. We created Unite and Conquer. So we have a YouTube channel that I highly recommend that you click on the link in my link tree and subscribe so you can constantly be up to date with really cool conversations that we have. We have a Persian music live stream called Zendegi. The next episode is December 8th. So a lot of fun stuff. And I encourage you to communicate, to engage. Like Sepide, you are a kick-ass, you know? And so we have a lot of, friends that are old and new to what we're doing. And either way, I'm honored that you're spending a part of your Wednesday night here with me. And I really hope that you walk away being motivated, inspired, entertained, that you laugh a little bit, and that, that you enjoy the guests that I have. And Sepide, to answer your question, my guest today, which I'll introduce very shortly, it's none other than my good longtime friend, Arsia Rozegar. And he is the creator of Shahnameh For Kids. And if you don't know Shahnameh For Kids, it is a series of great comic pieces that he actually created. And there's a whole bunch of them, and it's all the great stories of the epic poem created by Ferdowsi, the legendary Persian poet. And so it's all from the book of the Shahnameh, and I've been a fan of him for so many years. Every time that I had like a Nowruz event in the DC area, I was like, hey, can you please have a little section for kids who they can have like a little Shahnameh for Kids coloring book section and a little storytelling, and he would always do it. And I'm very grateful for what he does. And I think that people like him need to be continued to be supported and pushed and motivated and energized because who does this kind of stuff? Like our children, our grandchildren, if they want to read stories about our culture, our history, all the legendary people in it, it's these type of books. And there's not that many people like Arsia Rozegar, which is why I'm so excited that he is the first of a series of guests that we have coming up this month as part of my Awesome People Instagram live series. So I don't want to go and talk all about just me talking. I want to make sure we get our guests on board. And so without any further ado, please help me welcome Arsia Rozegar. I'm going to bring him in right now. We have Orly over here. I want to give a shout out to Mansur. We have Yasamin Saliki. If you don't know who Yasamin is, she was on The Voice, an incredible musician and singer. See, like we already have awesome people here. So a lot of great people here, and I'm happy to have you guys here. I have Paris from Montreal. She's been a new volunteer to the Unite and Conquer team. So just happy to have you guys all here. And in just a moment, I will bring the one and only Arsia from Shahnameh For Kids, and I am bringing him. Arsia, go ahead and click the button to request to join the live, please, and we'll get him on board very quickly. So please stay tuned, check this out, and like I said, in my link in my bio, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Unite and Conquer. It's an amazing community that we're growing. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I know, it might seem crazy, but we have 417. But I believe that we can get to 1,000 by the end of the month with your support and you spreading the word about what we do at Unite and Conquer. So let's see, here we have, well, my mom is trying to request to join. I appreciate you, Mom, I love you, but I'm really looking for Arsia to join. So Arsia, once again, if you press that little button to join, I'll bring you on board in a second. While Arsia, in the meantime, if somebody has a fun joke, you can share it, you know? Oh, you know who we have here? We have the Inspiring Iranians page. While you're here, I want you to click on Inspiring Iranians. The creator of that page is Fred Parvan, and he's going to be my guest as well, but I'll talk to you about that later. But follow Inspiring Iranians. It's got the most awesome Iranian Americans that there are around. So follow that page, show them some love, and here comes Arsia. You know how internet works. It takes a little bit of time to sync up, and there he is. درود بر شما.
درود بر شما ایمان جان خوبی؟
It's great to see you, man. So happy to see you.
Great to see you too. Happy to see you too.
Happy December to you, man. I hope that the month has already popped off in a positive, healthy, and a happy way, you know?
I'm ready for Yalda and the holidays. What about you?
All right. Yeah, actually, you know what? I worked through Thanksgiving, so I'm hoping that this rest of the holiday season will be something that I can sit back, relax, and enjoy and have great conversations like I do with you right now, man. Well, listen, let's get right into it. You know, I usually like to have my guests give their own little mini bio. So for anybody who has never heard of Arsia Rozegar, has never heard of Shahnameh For Kids, can you give them a little bit of a little synopsis of who you are and what this incredible piece of work that you've created is?
Thank you. Thank you. Well, my name is Arsia Rozegar. I was born in Tehran, Iran, but I moved here when I was a young one and grew up in the Washington, D.C. area. I love creativity. I love art. I love music. I love comics. I like photography, film, just any kind of creative expression I absolutely adore. And I love drawing and creating art. And I worked in comics for a little while, did some stuff with Marvel Comics, from Image Comics, got my feet wet in the graphic art, sequential art world. And growing up here, I noticed there really wasn't anything that properly represented Iranian culture, so I thought I'd use my talents, use my skills, and make Shahnameh For Kids, because I didn't have that kind of thing growing up here. So I thought, why not just do something for kids like me growing up outside of Iran? They can still have touch and be in touch with their roots and their culture. But not just that, I want non-Iranians to learn about our great culture, our rich culture, and such. So it's basically it, really. I can go on, I guess.
I love that. So, no, that's good. I love it. So here's my first question. So you've already like gone up the ranks of Marvel and worked like with Incredible Hulk type of work, meaning like that's like creme de la creme. I would think that somebody who's into comics, those are the type of stuff that they're watching. Marvel is, again, I'm not that type of person that knows too much about it, but I feel like even the average person would know Marvel and Incredible Hulk. So here you are, you're already working on that. Did you kind of just leave all that behind and you're like, I'm going to go all in and try to be the creator of the equivalent of something like that, but to the Persians all around the world? Was it a decision like that or not so much?
There was to a degree, because as a little kid, I always wanted to do Marvel Comics, you know, because I wanted to aspire to be a comic creator since I was a child, really. I would sit in my room and I would draw comics and make my own little comics. So that dream of being a comic creator was always there. And my father taught me if you work hard and you believe in yourself, you can achieve anything. And just like anything, I achieved my dream of working on comic books and working on like my childhood comics, like the Hulk and Iron Man and Spider-Man. So I got to do that. But after a while, you know, you realize, you know, I want more, you know, because at the same time, that's something else. That's somebody else's baby, you know. Spider-Man is somebody else's baby. The Hulk is somebody else's baby. I wanted something where I could put myself, it could be my baby. Well, granted, Rustam and the Shahnameh isn't mine necessarily. It's for everybody. It's for all Iranians. But I wanted something creative that it was kind of my expression creatively. And I thought, why not also do the Shahnameh, since it's such a wonderful subject matter that needs to be told.
I think the Persian in you wanted to be an entrepreneur and to be able to be your own boss while being super creative. Nobody can fault you for that. But honestly, let me ask you. So with regards to this whole Americanized, or excuse me, not even just American, but like, you know, this whole world of comics and Marvel, is there even a space for it within the Persians? Are you one of one, or is there like a community of other people who are creating stuff similar to the Shahnameh For Kids? Because I personally haven't heard about it, but you are in that world. You know how they have Comic-Con, they have conferences. Do you guys have like
Yeah.
a Facebook group? Like what's going on in that world, and how can people actually like get into this world and follow the path that you've trailblazed?
Well, Shahnameh For Kids, I kind of see that as different than the comic book industry. I consider Shahnameh For Kids more children's books than comic books. Um,
Got it.
it's still technically sequential art. That's the technical term. It's still sequential storytelling, basically telling a narrative, a story through using images and art. Still the same thing, but the approach is different. I don't have like the word balloons that you see in comic books, or the panels, like the little square panels that you see in comic books. It's kind of different. Initially, I did want to first do a Rostam comic, but I changed my mind and decided to go with a children's book instead. So
Well,
it's
sorry, go ahead. Finish your thought. Go ahead.
it's two separate beasts. The comic book industry and the literary, the children's book industry, they're really, I kind of see them as two different beasts. Even though they're in the same umbrella, it's two different beasts altogether, in my opinion, at least.
Well, first of all, I like how you specified children's book, but let's be real. For somebody like me who doesn't read or write Farsi and likes to learn about it, I thoroughly enjoyed this one that you recommended, which was the Rostam one.
That was your favorite one of the three?
Yeah, it was great. I like
Yeah.
it a lot. It's cool. I mean, it's just great to kind of have something that non-Persians can connect to. I mean, excuse me, like English-speaking Persians or the ones that don't speak Farsi, you know? And
those stories are really universal, in my opinion. I don't think you just have to be Iranian to enjoy these tales. I think anybody from across the planet can appreciate the adventures of Rostam and the wisdom of Zal and the grace of Seymour. So I think these are for everybody.
Beautiful. I love it. And this is actually a great transition about what I'm about to ask. But Orly, one of our guests who are watching, is asking where we can, actually purchase these books. So first of all, just tell people who are watching right now, in case they can't say the whole time, where's the best place where they can get these books? And then I'll continue with my next question.
Sure. You can go to Amazon.com and order the books, or you can go to ShahnamehForKids.com and order the books directly from the website. And right now, if you order for the holidays, if you order over $20, you get free shipping. And also, I'll be happy to sign the books for you. So if you want the author of Shahnameh For Kids to sign your books, I'd be happy to do that. But you have to order from ShahnamehForKids.com to get the books autographed. And it makes a really wonderful holiday present, for sure.
That's it. That's what's up. I got the author's signature. See? No, but I mean,
I can put your little one's name too. If you want their name in there, I'll write their name in there for you. There's a little form on the website if you want the book signed.
I mean, the better option is to go straight to the website, correct? That's the best thing for you as an artist and a creator.
Yeah, that's the best thing. But a lot of people like the convenience of Amazon also. So if you prefer Amazon, the convenience that works too.
Got it. So now that I see some, people are obviously asking about the book in general, ever since you started, which I believe the journey started about 8-9 years ago now, right? Because it's really been a long time since you've been gracious enough to make our Nowruz events better. So when did the journey begin?
Well, I officially really started 10 years ago. And my original idea, my very first incarnation of this project, was a video game, to be honest with you. I was going to do a video game of Rostam, like a side-scroller, and he goes and fights Deebs and monsters, and he goes on an adventure to save the Shah. And basically his half Khan. At the end of every level was like the first Khan, the second level, the second Khan, the third level, the third Khan, and each one would be kind of a boss, like an old-school video game, beat 'em up where you side-scroll. That was my original plan. Sometimes I have big thoughts. I dream a little bit bigger. I bite off more than I can chew. Making a video game was a lot harder than I anticipated. It was coming along, but it was taking a long time. It was a team of 3 of us, and it was just taking too long. And it took us a year until we just barely finished 1 level. And there's 7 levels, and it's going to get more detailed. So I was like, this isn't going to work. So about 10 years ago, eventually the idea evolved, and it became what it is today, which is Shahnameh For Kids, and which is a children's book series. And the first book, I think, came out in 2000. Let me see, 2015. So it's been like a 6-year journey so far.
Okay, and so
for the official publication.
And how would you say has been the response? And I'm just I'm kind of curious, what percentage are Persian and what percentage are non-Persian right now? I'm very curious to see where that is.
Honestly, I don't know the percentage, but the vast majority of supporters are of Iranian descent. But that's not the case for all of them. There's lots of non-Iranians that support Shahnameh for Kids. When I first approached it, my initial approach, my initial marketing was to market this book for everybody, not just Iranian Americans. But I quickly found out that the majority of supporters were from Iranian backgrounds, so I was just like, oh, it is what it is, you know. So they like their culture
Yeah.
for sure, and they're supporting it.
What can the Persian community do better to kind of support what you're doing? You know, like what have you figured out like the best way to reach, whether it's children or as a parents, or you know, like I'm trying to see everything we do at Awesome People and these IG lives is really to kind of bring attention to something awesome somebody's doing, right? So part one is to have these kind of conversations, but as a community as a whole, what is the best way that we can do to support you so that even if we personally cannot, next time that we see or hear something that we'll be like, oh man, we got to connect this person with Arsia. What can we do to better help you?
I think it comes down to like individuals. A lot of people that have helped out have been like parents of student organizations or parents in PTAs and schools, or someone connected to museums and whatnot. Getting the word out there, getting Shahnameh for Kids into school libraries, into local schools, having school visits or cultural events like notice events. I'm going to be doing a Yalda event at the end of the month with Joe's Emporium in Maryland. So getting it out there, and it comes down to the individual, really. A lot of these are, I've had awesome moms, Iranian moms, kind of support this project, like get in contact with me, say, hey, I'd like you to come down and do a story time at our school. So the individuals putting forth the effort and the getting this product and this idea, this concept out there in all mediums is what does it, I think. Word of mouth, also gifting the books to people that you think would appreciate the stuff, not just Iranian kids, maybe somebody knows somebody likes mythology and legends and world mythology and world culture, that kind of stuff. I think it comes down to the individual, to be honest with you, and helping something. I think with any art form, any product, whatever it is, not just these children's books, but anything, any kind of creative endeavor, it's really important for that to promote that individual artist. I feel like if you like a musician, you know, share that musician's CDs and videos, however possible. Buy that MP3 on iTunes. You know, so artists need support. Without support, they're not going to be able to do their creations.
Correct.
So support is really the fundamental foundation of the progress of art, I feel like.
Right. And speaking of events, I believe this weekend, I think you're at IACC as well at Parks Place in the DC area.
Yeah, if you're in the Washington, D.C. area, this Saturday, December 4th at 2 p.m., I will be doing a Shahnameh for Kids story time, The Bravery of Ghorda Farid, one of my favorite stories. I'm going to be doing a story time at Pars Place. Pars Place, if you don't know, is this really amazing community center, Iranian American community center in Vienna, Virginia, really close to the Washington, D.C. area. A really great spot. They do lots of fun cultural events. They've been a Shahnameh for Kids supporter since day one. I love going there. I love the community that they have there. And I'll be doing a story time this Saturday there. So if you want to come down, it's free admission. I'll be doing the story time. The books will be there for sale. You can get some books for the holidays if you want to buy some books for somebody. Again, I'll be happy to sign them there. It'll be a lot of fun.
Let me ask you. Actually, yesterday, because I'm in Miami right now, and you know, Art Basel has kicked off, and we actually went to an event that was focusing on NFTs, and you know, NFTs have become a huge thing with art pieces and stuff like that. Have you considered how you could possibly hop on the NFT train and see if that's something that benefits what you guys do with Shahnameh for Kids, or is that not like in the works at this time?
I decided not to do it with Shahnameh for Kids, but I'm contemplating dabbling in some other ideas. I know it's really kind of taken the art world by storm. There's some cons involved too. A lot of artists don't like, specifically the environmental effect that it has. So I haven't really fully gone into it, but I've kind of dabbled with it. You know, I'm not dabbled with it, but looked into it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. And then just in general, like what was the catalyst of you even getting into it and starting to like draw? You know, you said earlier that it started at a very young age, but did you have like, was your dad like an artist? Was somebody in the family an artist, or did they give you just as a gift a paint set and you just started going ham on it when you were young? What was the precipice of all this?
My father, definitely. My father's a really talented singer, a really talented artist, a drawing and painting. So I think I definitely genetically got my creative streak from my father's side for sure. So, and he's always been super supportive in every creative endeavor I've gone through, whether it's music or art or comics or Shahnameh For Kids. He's always been super supportive with everything I've done. So I can definitely say with confidence that it was from my father for sure.
And at what point did you think that you had the skills and the passion and the interest to make this a career? Do you remember? Was it a certain point, or from the early years you just knew this was your path?
I think like when I started reading Ninja Turtle comics was what kind of inspired me to be a comic creator, because those guys did it themselves. They were DIY back in the 80s, because they drew it, they wrote it, they published it. It was all their thing, and we all know how super huge Ninja Turtles got. So
Of course.
that was really inspiring for me, and that kind of sparked something inside me. Like, you know what? I think I can give it a shot. If these guys did it, I can probably do it too. So I think it was probably with Ninja Turtles. And in high school, I just started really busting my butt, because like with anything, if you practice, if you apply yourself, and I'm sure you heard of the 10,000 hour theory, where if you apply 10,000 hours or something, you become a master at it. So I really decided to kind of get in there and really try to be a really good comic book artist, seriously in high school. So I think I was around 14, 15 years old that I decided to kind of really put my head down and really get at it, I think.
So a personal question: who was your favorite turtle?
My favorite turtle? That's a tough question. It's probably between Michelangelo and Leonardo, I think. It's tough to choose between these two. You know, Leonardo, he's serious, he gets it done, but Michelangelo also likes to have fun and kind of kick back and enjoy life when he needs to.
I like Michelangelo. That was my answer. But even the names, Michelangelo, Leonardo, they were all painters, so it was very cool how, as artists, they chose names of famous painters and artists of all time. So very, very cool names.
On my wall here in front of me, I can't show you guys, but right in front of me, in my office studio, I have all lots of cool stuff that inspires me. Like you see back there, you see the Beatles, you see Ferdowsi over there, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
In front of me, I have my childhood poster of the Ninja Turtles that used to be in my room, and it's signed by the artist, Kevin Eastman, who's a really cool guy. I actually got to meet him and talk to him for Comic Cons. And it's right in front of me. It kind of inspired me to kind of step my creative streak on.
That is very cool. So let me ask you, if there's somebody watching here and that they actually want to get into this world, or maybe they have like a child that is at an age where teenager, just like you were, what can they do to just get their feet wet? Like, how do you encourage somebody to go into it? Is it just paint, draw? And what is it? What's the steps?
Well, fortunately, it's a different game than when I started. Now the paradigm's totally different now, for the better, in my opinion. Because now we have the internet and all these amazing YouTube tutorials at our fingertips. I personally I think you don't need to go to art school to learn these trades. I think if you have it inside here, if you have that fire inside of you, and I'm talking really, if you really want it and apply yourself, you can become an amazing artist through YouTube tutorials, through handbooks and guides and stuff. But again, it comes down to the individual. They have to really, I'm talking really want it, and apply themselves. So I say learn Adobe Photoshop, get yourself a tablet, like a little, either an iPad you can draw on, or a Wacom tablet, but something that has like pressure with a pen. And it doesn't have to be the top of the line. It really doesn't. It can be even, really basic. You can get a simple tablet for like $60 for your computer where you can draw with. But just get one of those and just practice, apply yourself. Check out tutorials on YouTube. There's a really amazing book on how to draw the Marvel way, which is like a Bible for comic book artists, in my opinion. Just apply yourself. See who your favorite artists are. See what their techniques are. Emulate their techniques and apply it to yourself. And so depending on what you want to do, if you want to be an animator, learn the mainstream animating programs. If you want to be a CG, computer graphics, 3D artist, learn 3D Max, Maya, all the programs. If you want to be like a graphic artist, learn Photoshop, Illustrator. And back to what I was saying, there's countless tutorials online for free that you can learn and better yourself. So it's just a matter of wanting it, I feel like now. And once you get your chops down, put your best stuff out there. Social media, Twitter, DeviantArt, whatever the mainstream way artists, because it changes. Every 5 years, I feel like it changes. Like 10 years ago, it was DeviantArt. Right now, it's Instagram. So every now and then, social media or online artist platforms changes. But find out what the platform is, put it out there, and if it's good enough, if it's awesome enough, it's going to reach the right person. You just got to be prepared with what you're doing, I feel like. And it's a matter of applying yourself in the end. Sorry, the long-winded answer.
No, no problem. So not to put pressure on you, but I have a feeling that you've thought about it at some point. Have you considered turning this into a cartoon or some type of animated version? Have you even tried it out yet? Is that in the future?
Yeah, I would love to, but animating is a time-consuming process. So it's a lot of work. I have a couple of animating programs, and I did 2 really simple animations from the art in the book, and each one took like all day. It was really simple animation. It was barely any movements, but it took a lot of time, having the hair moved and blinking. Now take that into account where you're drawing every single pose and literally animating it, and then adding music, adding voiceover. It's a really full production, and I don't want something I do to kind of be half-kilter.
Half-assed.
I want it to be like, top shelf. I want it to be like, something that I can look at and, hey, that's really good. I like that. And that's something, that's okay.
I mean, kudos for you for trying to do it on your own. I was just thinking that I'm sure in your space that there's people that they see something in writing and they kind of approach you and be like, hey, we can convert this into it. Like, is that something that exists? Like, would you consider having somebody else doing
a lot of people aren't willing to put their time for free, I feel like, because with animating, that takes a lot of time, takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of effort. So you probably have to pay somebody to animate for you.
Right. What about audio? Have you made any kind of audio versions of these?
Not yet. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Seems to be acting weird.
I can hear you clear though.
Okay. So I want to, but I want to do a production with it. I want to have sonata music and like maybe a tar or some sort of sonata music to kind of accompany the voiceover. So I want it to be a full production. I just gotta find the right musicians to collaborate with. So if you know any sonata artists that we could possibly collaborate, something I have been thinking about. I wish I could clone myself and do like different things at the same time. It's hard to do all these projects I want to do.
No, I feel there's a little bit of music coming from the background. Is that from your place? Can you hear it? It's like it's very echoey or some kind of.
It's weird.
In the meantime, for everybody that's watching, you can click in. You can go to Amazon and find Shahnameh For Kids. You can even direct message this account right here and talk to Arsia. Okay, the sound is gone right now. We're good.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was kind of cool music, yet it was very annoying at the same time.
That's weird. I don't know why I can't start playing.
All right, so what is like the next step right now? Are more audiobooks in the works right now? Like are you releasing something new, or right now are you just focused?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that? It cut off there. Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, what's in the works right now? Are you working to produce yet another book, or right now are you in the selling mode of the existing series that you've created?
I've been working really hard on the new Shahnameh For Kids book, so I'm happy to share and express that I've been working on the latest edition of Shahnameh For Kids, and I can share some stuff with you if you want right now.
Yeah, of course. Let us know.
Okay, so here's a little exclusive.
We're getting an exclusive here, guys. We're getting an exclusive update.
So I don't want to share too much, but we've been working really hard on this book, and it's coming together. We still have a lot of work left to do, but it's coming along. And I'll show you this one. Here's the first page.
Oh, okay. All right. There we go. That's our homeland. Okay.
Yeah. So it starts in the very, very beginning. And
beginning of time.
Beginning of time, and we start with Keomars.
Oh, tell us about Kiyomaz and
Keomars
right
is the
now.
first Padishah of Iran, and we learn about him. He could communicate with animals, but he's basically the first Padishah. And we learn about Keomars and the first people and the first civilization.
This is great. I love how you're giving us this like first look, man. This is awesome. And not to mention that I now know that Kiyomaj was our first king. If I had to guess, I would have said Cyrus the Great. But see, that's how little I know
A lot
and
of
how
people
much
think that.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
have no
Kudos
idea
Cyrus was
Kiyomaj.
the first Hachemanishi king, but
Okay, see?
the
Good to know.
first mythological king was Keomars. Yeah.
Noted.
So I don't want to share too much, but I'm
This is
telling
great,
you,
though.
this book's going to look pretty sweet. It's going to be really awesome, and I really think everybody will like this book a lot. And if you follow me on social media, follow Shahnameh For Kids on social media, I'll post news as soon as this book will be available for pre-orders.
So, you just mentioned and I'm just kind of curious, really, how many people it takes to cook up something so incredible. Like, so when you say we, and let's give a shout out to the integral people around you that make all this magic happen. What are the components of creating something like this? It's you and who else? And like, what parts do you do? Is it all the writing, all the, I don't know all this stuff. So break it down for us.
So it starts with me. I do all the character designs, all the thumbnails. They call it thumbnails, a little breakout, how you break down the page and the posing and the layouts and the perspective. I do that. And then I give my pencils to another artist, Micah Monte, and he takes my art and takes it to that next level and colors it, and you get the final product through Mike. So that's why I give him the title of the illustrator of the series. So it's the two of us, and I also consider everybody else who supports the book as part of the project also. So when I say we, I mean me, Mike, and everybody else who supports Shahnameh For Kids.
I love it how Mike is not even Persian, and he's putting his heart and soul in this. So shout out to Mike. So, oh man, I just had a good question that just slipped through the cracks. But oh man, screw it. I had a good question.
It comes back.
It's gonna come back. But okay, forget about it. Okay, so you have this book coming up, and when can? Oh, this is what I was gonna say. I feel like you should really put some of your sketches on Instagram, like like the beginning phases. Like every time there's like Shrek or something, you see the first rendition of how Shrek looked like.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like walking us through the process. This is just my personal opinion. Do what you want with it, but I love to see the process of an artist. And like like the behind the scenes, the lead up. Oh, this is the question I was going to ask actually. Do you tend to create when you're happy, when you're sad, when you're angry, when you're, are there emotions that play an element into like, oh man, I'm just going to go to my room right now and I'm just going to draw and I'm going to write. Like, what's the creative process like for you?
It depends. I guess it depends on the kind of art I'm doing. For songwriting, funny enough, heartbreak and being sad and being in love was a nice inspiration to write music. Like graphic art and comic books, I think a lot of times is being inspired by other art. Like if I read a really cool comic, I want to make a cool comic. Or sometimes when I listen to the Shahnameh, it really inspires me to kind of work on the book. Or if I see really amazing Shahnameh art from somebody else, it inspires me to kind of really make amazing Shahnameh art. So it's a gamut of stuff. Inspiration is a weird thing, how it hits you. Sometimes I'm about to go to sleep. I'm like maybe 3 minutes away from going to sleep, and this wave of inspiration ideas come over me, and I have to get up and work on this idea. So it's really weird. I don't know what it is and where it comes from, how it taps into you, but it's there. I feel like it's a wave. You just got to ride it when it comes,
Before I let you go, Arsia, I want you to kind of like fast forward to the year 2030, and I just want to know like where you would like to see Shahnameh For Kids be in the year 2030.
2030, that'd be great. Let me see. Let's do some self-fulfilling prophecy, a little vision board, kind of put it out there in the universe and make it happen, right?
Make it happen.
So what I would like is to basically, by that time, at least have several volumes of Shahnameh For Kids, the books, because there's other stories I want to do too. There's so many really fantastic stories on Shahnameh that I feel like have to be told. Not just Rostam, not just Gordafai, but there's other characters that I would love to visit and tell these stories. To do the different volumes, but also, like you mentioned earlier, an animation, like a nice produced animation with some quality voice actors, some really awesome music, some really detailed animation. That's really quality stuff. Top shelf animation I would like to do, and have it geared for everybody for kids and such.
Honestly, and I hope you don't mind me wanting to put extra work on your plate. But if that's what you want to make happen, I think that you need to put together the structure, put a GoFundMe, and the entire Persian community should get behind this project and do it for an entire generation and the generations after us. And I genuinely mean that, you know, if that truly is your vision to make it happen, we have enough. I'll be happy to make some phone calls to my talented friends that are out there as voiceover actors, actresses, singers, musicians. You know, tomorrow my guest is Shayan Ibrahim, a talented director and writer and editor who works with all these different talents and actors and actresses, you know. And the same way that Maz Jobrani did a few years back, for example, with Jimmy Westwood. I don't know if you remember what he did, but, you know, he went out and he basically did a massive GoFundMe and offered different type of tiers of involvement. Some people were involved as an actor and side, what is it called, extras, you know. Some people got executive producer title depending on their environment. So I know it's a lot of work, but I genuinely believe that if that's your ultimate goal, and get the help of some people that will come and I will do whatever I can on my end to connect you with the right people. Because you know, if that is what you want to make of all these, which I believe is the ultimate goal, it should be that, and that's why I asked it earlier. And I think that millions of Persians around the world would love to take their kids or even themselves to go enjoy and support something like what you're doing, man. I wholeheartedly believe that it has potential.
Well, back to your idea of what you mentioned of crowdfunding. I'm actually going to do that for this book. Follow me on social media, folks, if you're listening. Go to Shahnameh For Kids social media, because around late February, early March, around before Nowruz hits, I'm going to launch a crowdfunding campaign for Shahnameh For Kids, for the new Shahnameh For Kids book, and you'll get to pre-order the book if you want. So you'll be the first one, literally the first ones on the planet to get to read the new Shahnameh For Kids book. And I'm gonna have lots of cool perks that people will get, like a bookmark and some other cool stuff that people will get. And one thing that I do in my Shahnameh For Kids books for people that like to support and be a part of the project is that you can actually be drawn in the book.
Oh yeah.
So like these people here.
Yes.
Like this is young little Castro. He's a little supporter of my book. This is Bijan and his family.
I love that. Is who?
This gentleman Bijan. He's a gentleman that supported Shahnameh For Kids. So these are all supporters. They all supported the book. And you can get drawn in the book. That's one of the campaign tiers. So if you want to immortalize yourself in the Shahnameh For Kids series,
that's great. I need. Let me know when that link is ready. I need to see myself in a cartoon, skinnier and younger looking, please. So let's make that happen, dude. That's awesome, man. But yeah, I mean, other things. Just make sure you build up your email list. You know, encourage people to get on your email and just continue to message them. So I hope that your email list continues to grow. And so for anybody watching, make sure you give him a follow at Shahnameh For Kids, and then his personal Instagram is Arsia Rozegar. You can find it on my page. Is there anywhere else that they can go to support you and to continue to back you up on what you're working on?
Well, like I said, you can go to ShahnamehForKids.com. You can order the books on there or Amazon. Also on ShahnamehForKids.com, there's some free stuff you can download. Like there's some coloring pages you can download out there. And if you're part of an organization, say you're part of you're running an American organization or part of a school or a cultural center, I'd be happy to come to your organization and do a Shahnameh For Kids event, like a story time or art events. So get a hold of me. I'd be happy to come down and do an event with you guys.
And not only just that, man, but like a lot of people, these student organizations, if you know somebody who is in the organizations that are doing some type of live stream, especially around Nowruz, you know, it's a great additional program to have. I mean, we had you at the celebration of Nowruz live stream, and it was a wonderful 15, 20-minute segment. And for you, it's also convenient to do it at the comfort of your home and be able to kind of like serve the community globally, you know, via these type of live stream Zooms, even if it's pre-recorded and then posted within their live stream. So for anybody watching, if you're involved in any type of organization that's preserving our culture, our arts, you know, just message. I'm sure that you guys can connect and brainstorm and come up with great ways to mutually benefit. So Arsia, man, I always enjoy having a chat with you, and I hope that the next time that we talk, we get to hold your new piece of masterpiece, and that you continue to make an impact in the Persian community, man. So much love and much respect to what you do, and good
Thank
luck
you.
with all your endeavors, man.
Thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure. It's great seeing
Great.
you again, too.
All right, brother. Take care. And ladies and gentlemen, that was Arsia Rozegar. I genuinely appreciate him hopping on today's IG Live. This kicked off a whole month of IG Live series. And by the way, Arsia, you can go ahead. I'm just going to say a few more minutes. Love you, man.
See you,
Take care.
everybody.
Shab Khosh, man. Khuda Hafiz.
Shab Khosh.
And tomorrow we have Shayan Ibrahim, as I mentioned earlier, super talented director, writer, editor. He's worked with so many different people, from Nusha Noor to Nazani Noor to Bita Milanian. I don't want to start naming everybody because I know I'm going to forget people, but like the Manija series, if you guys watch the Manija one with Tara Grammy, hilarious stuff, really, really talented work that he's done. And that's going to be tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So again, I'll be doing this every single day in the month of December. I made a public pledge to do 31 episodes in the 31 days of December because I'm crazy. And I see here Kehan Life, which is the Fred Parvane. We're going to be having him as well. Fred Parvane is the creator of the Inspiring Iranians page as well, which I absolutely love. You should definitely follow that page to see what other great Iranian Americans we have. And ladies and gentlemen, the mission with all this is to, you know, shout out people that are doing great things in our community. You know, there has to be more of this kind of stuff where we get to learn about people like Arsia. I mean, if you didn't know who Arsia is, how amazing is that young man? You know, like how awesome is it? This guy has been living in America all his life, and he decided to leave Marvel to be able to create his own Marvels, you know? And so this is awesome stuff, you know, and this is just 3 of his books. I encourage you to please support him, show him some love, get some great gifts for your nieces, your nephews, your children, your cousins. This is, if you're like, God damn it, I don't know what to get as a gift, right now is the perfect time. It's the 1st of December. It'll be here by Christmas. You don't have to worry about it, and you're going to be supporting a young Persian artist. So do that. And if you can nominate an awesome Persian that you would like for me to interview, either through my IG Live series or the Awesome People podcast that we do, please message me their IG page. Fortunately, there's a long list of awesome Persians around the world, and I'm trying my best to just filter and make time for all of them. My personal goal, just putting it out there, is to host a podcast 7 days a week and continue to connect with all of you awesome people from all around the world. It's a pleasure to have these conversations with you all in the room, you know, even if it is a virtual room. And for those of you who don't know, I own a couple of companies. One is called Exclusive Entertainment. The other one is Night Owls. And Exclusive Entertainment, we provide entertainment services like DJ and lighting and musicians. We specialize in weddings. And we do have this incredible promotion that I'm offering for the rest of the year. And that is, if you book our company for your upcoming wedding, I'm including live stream services of your wedding ceremony. That's going to be the way that the future is going to be for weddings. And we're proud to be a part of that. We've done almost 100 live streams over the pandemic. So our team is very suited, very experienced in being able to give a bride and groom's VIP guests a front row seat, no matter where they are in the world. And as we still deal with COVID and loved ones are not able to be there on a special day, we hope that we can lessen the distance a little bit and give those individuals an awesome multi-cam, high quality production view of weddings. So it's included if you book us for your wedding, and would love to be a part of your special occasion. So Exclusive Entertainment, we do entertainment lighting, and my other company, Night Owls, we do live streams, we do photography, and we do wedding cinematography and all types of event cinematography. So appreciate you listening to me. And I see over here Intrigue Yellow, that's Mahtab Hariri. She's also going to be my guest. It's going to be on December 16th at 2:30 p.m. We have great guests from all around the world coming up. in the next month. I wish you all of you a wonderful rest of the evening, and hopefully you'll join me tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern time, right over here with Shayan Ibrahim. Wishing you guys much love, respect, happiness, joy, laughter, and all the good things that the world can possibly offer. Ciao. Love you guys. Bye. And I always forget how to press end. Maybe X? I think. It's been a while. Let's press X. Are you sure you want to? Yes, there we go.